Hi guys, this is lesson number 16 on the programming language 8th. Today we are talking about files. When we are creating programs, we need to store data permanently sometimes. For that there are file systems, which are part of the operating systems. You should note that 8th is multi-platform and that it supports input and output for all these OSs and for all these file systems. So it's kind of an abstract layer 8th uses. Now, what is a file? A file is a collection of sequentially stored records, most of the time. Most of the time there is sequential access. However, it is possible to read parts of a file just in the middle at random. We have to mention two different styles of different types of file, namely text files, and such files are really written line by line and they have a new line after each line. And that can be a carriage return or a line feed character. Sometimes even a combination of the two. Text files are normally only used for documents, but also for XML files and stuff like that. Then all other files are binary files. And a binary file is just a collection of bytes. And the way we access these files can be different for any purpose. Binary files are used for movies, for pictures, for music, for executable files, etc. Also, there is a very advanced concept for storing data. We call it database. And files are just used as building blocks for databases as well. Okay, our first step. Sometimes we need to know if a given file does exist. For example, the user tells read this file with a given name, for example test.txt, and then in our program we need to check if that file does really exist. Therefore we've got the word f:exists ? And we can see in this example that it outputs false or true. So in this case the file does not exist. Okay, we can also create a new file when we want to write one. Therefore we can use the f:create word. And I use the .s here on purpose, so that we can see that on the stack there is a file handle left. It's also important to note that after almost any of such words there is a resulting value on the stack which if null means that there was a failure, so it's very important to check. Okay, so always check for null. Now we are going to write to the new file test.txt, and then we use f:"write, and when we have invoked the write word, we see there are now two entries on the stack. On the top of the stack there's a numeric entry with the value 6. Now 6 is just the number of bytes written, so line blank 1 is a total of 6 characters, which is the 6 mentioned here. And at the second position of the stack is still the file handle, which is very nice because we can use that for the following write operations. Okay, so never forget to check for null. For now we drop the value on top so that this value is gone, and we have the value of the file handle on top again. Yes? Now we are going to write a second line. Same recipe, and you can see it has written 6 bytes again, because line blank 2 consists of 6 characters, and in second position is still the file handle. Okay, now we drop the result again, which is the line with the 6. So now the handle is back on top of the stack, and then we have to close the file. Closing a file is needed because otherwise the file is in an inconsistent state. When we close the file, the entry in the file system is made complete. Okay, I invoke the close word in the F namespace, the file namespace, and I show the stack, and we see that the stack is empty afterwards. Maybe you would expect a return code here, but that's not really needed, because if the close succeeded, things are alright, but if it doesn't succeed, well, what can we do? Nothing. Okay, now we're going to check the file which we wrote. Here we have a text editor window, and you can see line 1 and then adjacent to it line 2, and there's only one record in the file. This is the line number. There's only one record in the file. Hey, that's weird. We wanted to write 2 records. Line 1 is a record and line 2 is a record. Well, we are very used to thinking in text files, but 8th uses binary files by default. So when we want to write to a text file, we need to insert ourselves a carriage return or line feed character at the end of each string we write, and we can do that by using the \n character, which is the new line character. And when we do that, we would have gotten 2 different lines in a real text file. So that's very simple to do. Okay, this concludes our first lesson on files. We will continue about that in a next lesson or lessons, I don't know. Here's some information about 8th. There's a website on 8th-dev.com, and there's also a nice forum. There is also a blog, the 8thevangelist.org or .nl, excuse me, and you can see the stuff I show here as well. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next time, goodbye for now.